We were going through some hard times with Em being bullied at school, and Jess said to me, hey, why don't you bring her out here, have her try? So we did, and she was there for a few weeks, and then the 2022 floods happened.
The Tweed River has completely broken any of its banks along here. All the houses I can see along the river, stretching into the township, and we'll grab that way in a minute, are completely underwater.
And we woke up one morning to what was raging rapids down the side of the house. And it was halfway up the stairs. And we kind of went, okay, it's not stopping. All we could hear was the water slapping on the floorboards like we were in a boat. And Emily came to me and said, Mum, can you help me pray? Because Mrs. Coe tells me that God's always listening and he will help us. And at that point, I kind of went, okay, there's not much else I can do. And I prayed. And I, as most people do in their time of need, I begged. God answered my prayers when the rain finally stopped. And all I could hear was silence. Once the waters had started going down, some boats came, one from Chinder and one from Kingscliff, to rescue us. A few days later, we came back to the home to see what the damage was, and the TVAC bus turned up on my doorstep, and the door opened, and it was Miss Blake and a little team with food. And then the next day, some cars turned up, and it was people from the church, and they didn't know who I was, but they were here to help. And they cleaned, they walked out covered in whatever was here. But that's when I knew that God was listening. Once the floods had settled and we'd cleaned up and got back to some sort of normal life, I had heard about the parent Bible studies through the school and connections, so I started attending the parent Bible studies at TVAC. I have tried many different avenues through psychology, through meditation, through counselling groups, but nothing ever seemed to really hit the spot, never answering anything for me. But going through the parent Bible studies, I started to understand a little bit more, and I started to get a purpose for my life. I want to be a 7-day Adventist because finding Jesus and learning his truth has truly changed my life and is changing my family's life.